The story kicks off in Shanghai City, inside a quiet little room. There, a woman with sea-green hair, Jiang Wangxin, is nursing her newborn son. Between yawns, she smiles and tells her baby, Chen, how lucky he is. His only job is to eat and sleep, while she's the one losing all the shut-eye. Still, she insists it's worth it, as long as he grows up healthy. What she doesn't know? Her ordinary baby isn't ordinary at all. Inside that tiny body lives the soul of a man who already lived a full life. Baby Lin Zichen, that's his real name, is fully conscious, even if his brain is still developing. And just as he's adjusting to diapers and milk, a glowing blue game-like status screen pops up in his vision, labeling him Lin Zichen, 33 days old, biological level, ordinary tier 1. The infant reincarnator quickly realizes he's got to cheat. Baby gains XP. At 3 months old, while his parents, Dad Lin Yan and Mom Jiang Wangxin, marvel at his energy, little Lin Zichen is secretly grinding stats like a pro gamer. When he kicks his chubby legs for the 10,000th time, a system notification dings. Milestone achieved, 10,000 kicks. Unlocking ability, biological attribute use in advance. Translation: whatever body part he trains can grow infinitely stronger as long as it's carbon-based. Basically, his baby kick just unlocked infinite push-up DLC. Crawling in stealth mode. By 4 months, Lin Zichen can already sit up and crawl like a champ. But he plays dumb around his parents, only training at night to avoid blowing his cover. Each crawl, sit-up, and awkward baby shuffle earns him system points. By 5 months, he's walking. By 6 months, he can finally safely show off crawling without looking like a demon child. Then one day, the TV flashes breaking news. Aberrant beasts attacking. Gene fusers and cyborgs fighting side by side. That's when Lin Zichen realizes this world isn't his old Earth. It's a mutated one, swarming with monsters. Humanity only survives thanks to 2 paths. 1. Mechanical ascension, turning yourself into a cyborg. 2. Gene fusion, splicing your DNA with monsters to fight fire with fire. Zichen gulps. Dangerous world, check. His mission? Stay alive, lay low, and train like Rocky with a pacifier. The neighbors arrive. One fateful day, the doorbell rings. Enter Shu Ming in a blue dress, her husband Shenzani, and their purple-haired toddler daughter, Shenking Han, nickname Han Han. When Lin Zichen's baby eyes land on her, he just knows. First friend unlocked, destiny flag raised. Baby gym routines. At 7 months, Zichen's training goes full CrossFit. He's running, jumping, even doing baby sit-ups at night. By 8 months, he's cranking push-ups in his crib when, busted! His mom walks in, blinks, and sees her infant son doing sit-ups like a tiny action hero. She rubs her eyes, mutters about sleep deprivation hallucinations, the perks of being a web novel author, and walks away. Zichen plays dead, literally, by pretending to sleep. Crisis averted. But not for long. During bath time, his mom notices baby abs. Cue screaming. Dad rushes in, sees the 8-pack, and immediately declares their son a once-in-a-million prodigy destined for greatness. Zichen. Phew. They bought the genius baby excuse. Genius baby versus genius baby. Later, the news shows another prodigy. A 2-year-old lifting a 20-kilo dumbbell. Mom hugs Zichen proudly and declares, "My Chen is just as amazing." Zichen. Note to self, lift 20 kilos by age 2. Don't embarrass mom. Level 2, toddler arc. By the time he turns 2, the toddler cheat code pays off. Alone in the storage room, he casually one-hands a 20-kilo weight. Mission accomplished. But then, Zichen! Han Han is here to play. Panic. He drops the dumbbell and rushes out to meet his little purple-haired neighbor, who's now also 2. She beams, offering him a tart. From then on, playdates become unconventional. While Han Han plays like a normal toddler, Zichen straps her to his back like a human dumbbell for weighted training. Perfect plan, except for one recurring problem. Just as he's about to finish a set, warmth, wetness. Han Han has peed on him, again. Our genius reincarnator can face aberrant beasts, cyborgs, and gene fusers, but he cannot escape toddler bladder accidents. At the grand age of 3, Lin Zichen has gone full toddler bodybuilder. He casually one-hands a 40-kilogram weight, then turns on the TV and sees a prodigy 4-year-old struggling with a mere 30 kilos. Zichen smirks. Kid, please, get on my level. Yet despite his monstrous gains, his status screen still insists he's stuck at ordinary tier 1. The system basically says, congrats, you're swole for a bug. Frustrated, he wonders, what does it take to break into tier 2? First step into the world. Soon after, he leaves the house for the very first time. Outside, a glittering futuristic megacity. Beastmen stroll the streets, cyborgs hum with chrome, and everything screams, "Welcome to Earth Mutated Edition." He tags along with his mom and the neighbors, Shu Ming and her daughter Shenking Han, Han Han, his purple-haired shadow, to the library. While his mom cheerfully points at the kiddie picture books, Zichen makes a beeline for the encyclopedias, dragging a worried Han Han behind. The moms whisper, Shu Ming, why is he into those scary books? Zhang Wangshin, genes, genius genes. Meanwhile, Han Han just offers him cookies like a loyal sidekick. Through reading, Zichen learns the truth. Life is ranked into 6 biological levels: ordinary, advanced, rare, epic, legendary, and mythical, each split into 9 tiers. Normal humans, bottom feeders. Ordinary tier 1, basically ants with jobs. This lights a fire in him. He must climb the ladder and fast. Ding! New quest. Read 100 million characters. Reward, celestial root of wisdom. Zichen grins. Mind and body training unlocked. Accepted. Year 4. Kindergarten King. A year later, the little prodigy is 4, entering kindergarten hand in hand with Han Han and their teacher, Miss Yangmei. Thanks to his grind, he finally breaks through to ordinary tier 2. His stats: 1 hand lift, 80 kilograms, high jump, 1.2 meters, 100-meter dash, 10.9 seconds. Basically, an Olympian trapped in a kindergartner's body. But even prodigies face drama. One day, Han Han is crying while other kids chant bedwetter. Zichen's eyes narrow. He leaps into the circle like a mini superhero, glares at the bullies, and growls, "If you bully Han Han again, I'll pee on your beds every day." The kids freeze. The insult is childish, but the menace is real. They burst into tears and quit kindergarten on the spot. Achievement unlocked. Kindergarten Kid King. New quest line opened. Han Han gazes at him with sparkling admiration. Zichen just pats his chest proudly. Protector duties fulfilled. Memory buff and time skip. Half a year later, quest complete. After reading 100 million characters, he earns the celestial root of wisdom. Now he's rocking perfect eidetic memory and peak human learning ability. Time flies. Soon, Zichen and Han Han are almost 7, posing for their kindergarten graduation photo. By then, he's already training with a 200-kilogram barbell and sprinting 100 meters in 7.98 seconds. His vertical leap? Over 2 meters. And academically? He wipes out the entire elementary curriculum before even stepping foot in Sunshine Elementary School. At the national academic competition, he snatches first place effortlessly, just to get the system's title rewards. Meanwhile, he tutors Han Han, raising her from average student to second in the class, right behind him. Sidekick, upgrade successful. Sunshine Elementary Arc school life seems smooth. Zichen breaks every sports record, racks up titles, and balances his hero training arc with babysitting Han Han. Then, plot twist. A new transfer student appears, long silvery blue hair, aura of mystery. The teacher introduces her as Bai Shuer. The class gawks at her beauty. Han Han whispers to Zichen, "Xiao Chen, her hair looks like snowflakes." But Zichen isn't thinking about hairstyles. As Bai Shuer walks past, he senses it. An aura that is not human. Could she be a gene fuser, a cyborg hybrid, or something even stranger? For the first time, the little reincarnator feels it. The real story is about to begin. At first, Bai Shuer is the ultimate enigma. She transfers in, sits at her desk, lays her head down, and basically cosplays as a hibernating bear 24/7. She doesn't talk, doesn't move, barely blinks. Even restroom breaks? Optional, apparently. The class is intrigued at first. Some even snap selfies with the sleeping beauty. But when the novelty wears off and she still refuses to join the party, they move on. Life returns to normal, until 1 month later. The incident. One day, a bizarre phenomenon begins. Bai Shuer starts secreting a viscous white liquid that oozes down her clothes and legs, carrying a foul stench. Note, not the superpower reveal Lin Zichen was expecting. The classroom reacts like a biohazard alarm just went off. "You, gross! What's that smell?" And of course, every school has that one punk. Enter Guan Chun, resident bully. He sneers, makes a crude joke, then takes his water bottle and dumps it over her head, declaring he's washing her out. Cue. Bai Shuer trembling, fists clenched, tears streaming silently as the whole room erupts in laughter. It's cruelty at its ugliest. Lin Zichen steps. In from her desk, Shen Qinghan tugs on Lin Zichen's sleeve, whispering, "Xiao Chen, can't we help her?" Zichen frowns. At first, he thought Bai was dangerous, but seeing her cry, soaked and humiliated, he realizes she's not a threat. She's just a lonely girl, and right now she needs saving.
So he stands up, walks straight to Guan Chun, grabs the boy by the collar with a smile that screams mini-mafia boss energy. "Wipe the water." Now Guan Chun turns pale. He knows this look. Lin Zichen isn't just a bookworm. He's a legend. Even 6th graders give him a wide berth. Terrified, Guan Chun stammers, I'll clean it up right away. The rest of the bullies scramble with tissues, frantically polishing her desk like waiters trying not to get fired. Then Zichin drops the hammer. Apologize. All of you. And they do. Bowing, sweating, promising never to bully her again. Kindergarten flashbacks, except now it's the elementary edition. The first true friendship. With the bullies gone, Bai Shuer finally lifts her head, eyes glistening. She whispers a shaky thank you. Han Han pats her shoulder warmly. That's what classmates are for. From that day forward, Shen King Han takes it upon herself to be Bai Shuer's first real friend. She drags Zichin along too, whether he likes it or not. Han Han always offers her best snacks first, while Bai cautiously tests the taste of kindness for the first time. One day she hesitates and blurts out, "Aren't you disgusted? I smell terrible. I've always been hated." Han Han clasps her hands and says firmly, "This is not a dream. We'll be friends forever." Right, Xiao Chen? Zichin, caught in the oath against his will. Guess I'm in this now. Overcome, Bai bursts into tears and hugs Han Han tightly. Then she gifts them a necklace with twin beast fangs, her most precious belonging, as a symbol of their friendship. 3 kids, 1 sunset, a pinky swear for life. It's pure childhood anime vibes. And then, she vanished. But just as things seemed perfect, Bai Shuer suddenly transfers out. Han Han is stunned. Why didn't she say anything? Lin Zichin, however, already knows. He saw it with his own eyes. Bai in the principal's office, signing papers alongside a towering man with cybernetic arms. The principal assured him everything would be kept confidential. That was the day Zichin confirmed his hunch. Bai's identity was anything but ordinary. And just like that, she was gone. No goodbye, no explanations, just questions. But fate wasn't done with him yet, because what came next would shake his peaceful routine far more than a mysterious girl with a strange aura. It's a quiet night at home. Lin Zichin is massaging his mother Zhang Wangxin's shoulders, and she's practically melting. Ah, perfect. After a whole day of typing web novels, this is heaven, she sighs. Little does she know, her 8-year-old son is basically a professional masseuse. Thanks to his celestial root of wisdom, Zichin has memorized advanced massage techniques like a human spa encyclopedia. Internally, he's impressed. Who knew my genius memory would be this useful? Guess I've unlocked the filial piety DLC, but before Wangxin can fall asleep, the news interrupts with a bombshell report. Breaking news: Kyoto prodigy achieves gene fusion at age 10. The broadcast shows a boy casually lifting a 500-kilogram boulder with one hand. Zichin freezes. He knows that face. It's that guy, his rival. Papa Lin Yan immediately groans. This Kyoto brat again? Do they want him to be a martial arts influencer now? Mom shakes her head. He's just a kid. It's wrong to use him as a guinea pig. Dad shrugs. He's from a 1,000-year-old martial arts family. For them, family comes before childhood. Mom snaps back. Wow, you really know everything, huh? Dad raises his brows. Obviously. And the bickering begins, but Zichin tunes them out, crunching the numbers. Before gene fusion, Kyoto boy could lift 100 kilograms. Now 500 kilograms, a 5-fold boost. Meanwhile, at just 8 years old, Zichin can already hoist 300 kilograms raw, no fusion required. He pumps his fist. Ha! My potential leaves his in the dust. Confidence, plus 9,999. And then, the true horror. But that smugness lasts all of 5 minutes. The next segment shows a neighboring country reduced to rubble, a massive explosion, entire city gone. The footage cuts to giant aberrant rats swarming the ruins, their massive jaws clamping down on screaming civilians before, well, let's just say it's not PG. The news anchors report that a cult called the Heretics was behind the attack, an anti-human group that worships aberrant beasts and manipulates them for destruction. Zichin gulps. Okay. Lifting weights is cool, but how do you train to not get eaten by a 3-story rat? He feels grateful his own country is safe and powerful, a perfect place to grow strong while keeping his head down. That's when the night sky shatters with sonic booms. Rushing to the window, he sees a squadron of heavily armed cyborgs streaking across the city like fighter jets. The sight makes his stomach drop. So much for safe and peaceful. Something big is happening. Necklace glows. By morning, everything looks normal again. Zichin waits for Han Han, who comes running up, panting and apologizing for being late. Then he notices it. The beast fang necklace Bai Sure had given them, the one Han Han now wears, suddenly pulses with a bright blue glow. Zichen freezes. That aura. So it really was from an aberrant beast, but just as quickly as it appears, the glow fades. Han Han doesn't even notice, brushing it off. Zichen forces a smile, but his gut tells him otherwise. Between the cyborg deployment and the necklace's reaction, trouble is brewing. The red-haired stranger. On their way to school, things get creepier. Leaning casually against a lamppost is a striking woman with flowing red hair and a black dress. As they pass, she smiles sweetly. What adorable kids! Are you two brother and sister? Han Han beams. Nope. We're childhood best friends. The woman's smile lingers, wistful. Childhood friends? How lucky. I wish I had one too, but then, her eyes glint, her expression twists into something darker. She leans closer. Tell me, why are you walking to school alone? Where are your parents? Han Han, innocent as always, opens her mouth to answer, but Zichen yanks her hand and cuts her off. We're gonna be late. He drags her away without a second glance, leaving the mysterious woman behind. Once they're safe, he kneels to Han Han's level, sighs, and says firmly, Don't talk to strangers. Ever. She nods obediently, cheeks puffed in embarrassment. After school, Lin Zichen decides to take a shortcut through a deserted alleyway. Han Han hugs her backpack nervously. This place is creepy. Zichen waves it off like a tour guide. Relax. The whole area is scheduled for demolition. Everyone's already moved out. Totally safe. Narrator's note, whenever a protagonist says totally safe, you know it's about to be totally not safe. Sure enough. Finally out of school, are we? The red-haired woman from the morning strolls out of the shadows, smiling far too sweetly for comfort. Beside her is a human mountain of muscle named Shang. She waves like a friendly aunt. Over here, Shang. The kids are right here. Zichen stiffens. Wait. I purposely took a different route. How did she... The woman coos. Don't be scared, darlings. Come here. I've got treats. Shang rolls his eyes. Enough nonsense. Just knock them out already. I'm in a hurry to sell them for cash. And with that, the musclehead lunges at them with a cloth in hand. When an 8-year-old punches like a bulldozer, Zichen reacts instantly. He shoves Han Han out of harm's way, plants his feet, and cocks his fist back. System buff plus adrenaline boost equals one very unlucky kidnapper. BAM. His tiny fist connects squarely with Shang's jaw. The man doesn't just stop. He flies backward down the alley like a rag doll on a trampoline, coughing blood and wondering which truck just hit him. The red-haired woman's jaw drops. Did an elementary schooler just send a 200-pound man flying? Zichen doesn't wait. He turns on her next. Before she can even gasp, he slams a punch into her stomach, follows with an uppercut. KO! She's out cold. Standing over their unconscious bodies, Zichen's expression hardens. He picks up a brick. No cameras, no witnesses. If they live, my powers get exposed. Best to tie up loose ends. Then the real horror arrives. Before he can bring the brick down, the ground trembles, dust falls, buildings groan, and then, crash! A massive clawed hand smashes through a wall. A giant aberrant rat emerges, towering and monstrous. Its crimson eyes glow, its whiskers twitch menacingly. Han Han screams, frozen in terror. But instead of eating the kids, the rat looms over the unconscious red-haired woman. One swift swipe, slash! Her head rolls away. The beast casually picks it up like a trophy. Han Han lets out a blood-curdling scream. Zichen doesn't hesitate. He scoops her into his arms and bolts. That's a giant aberrant rat! Hang on, we need to get out of here now! Enter bunny-eared cyborg. As they sprint, a flash of red and gold streaks across the sky. A blonde female cyborg, helmet adorned with sleek rabbit ear attachments, dives into the alley. She's so fast, she looks like a streak of lightning. Han Han, clinging to Zichen's back, gasps. She's so fast! The cyborg lands behind the rat, gauntlets glowing. Deploying anesthetic smoke. Boom, boom, boom! Her projectiles erupt against the beast, filling the alley with fiery explosions and choking gas. Zichen shields Han Han with his body, teeth gritted. The rat roars in pain, stumbling, slowed by the anesthetic. The cyborg seizes the chance. In a blur of strikes, she tears into the monster, finishing it off in a brutal flurry. The giant aberrant rat collapses, lifeless. Aftermath and cake arc. That night, Zichen watches the news replay of the battle. He analyzes like a true future tactician. Her power level isn't that high. She had to weaken the rat first, and even then it took her 7 minutes to finish the job. Giant, aberrant rats are terrifying. They can grow over 10 meters long and reach Tier 5. Still, good thing we got out alive. Determination hardens his gaze. I need to train harder. If I want to protect Han Han, I can't rely on bunny cyborgs to bail me out every time. Cue montage, Zichen in his training space, squatting with a heavy barbell, system notifications popping like mobile game achievements. Birthday break life doesn't stop just because mutant rats do. Soon, Zichen and Han Han celebrate their 9th birthday together. Both families gather. A massive cake sits at the center, candles flickering. They blow out the candles, exchange wishes, then gifts. Zichen, thanks to his celestial root of wisdom, had crammed woodworking overnight and crafted an intricate wooden hairpin. Han Han squeals, sliding it into her hair. I love it. It's beautiful. Time skips forward. The two graduate elementary school. On the way out, Zichen's system dings. Achievement unlocked. Dominated 9 years of compulsory education. Titles gained. Kindergarten Kid King, plus elementary school top dog. His eyes sparkle. Next up, Middle School Overlord. Reward, survival of the fittest attribute. While most kids spent their summer break leveling up in video games, Lin Zichen spent his leveling up in real life. His regimen? 1,000 push-ups with a boulder on his back because dumbbells are for mortals. 10-kilometer runs that ended with system notifications instead of sweat stains. And then it happened. Ding. System notice, biological level breakthrough, ordinary 3rd tier. His new stats, one-hand lift, 700 kilograms, basically forklift mode. Vertical jump, 4 meters, NBA scouts weep. 100-meter dash, 6 seconds flat, Olympics canceled. Zichen wipes his brow and thinks, I wonder how the Kyoto Prodigy is doing. Kyoto Prodigy. The return. Coincidentally, the TV answers his question. Breaking news! At 14, the Kyoto Prodigy has fused with giant ant genes. Watch as he casually one-hands a 2,000-kilogram alloy block. His parents gawk. His dad mutters, show off. They're turning this kid into an influencer. Meanwhile, Zichen calculates like a smug mathematician. Giant ant genes multiply strength by 4 to 8, which means, without the boost, his real lift is about 500 kilograms. I'm already stronger. Huh. Zichen fist pumps. Just wait till I start fusing genes. I'll be unstoppable. Welcome to middle school. Because he was the city's top student, every elite middle school begged for him. Zichen chose Shanghai Middle School, on one condition. Shenning Han had to be in his class too. During registration, the principal and homeroom teacher practically roll out a red carpet. We're counting on you, Lin Zichen. Zichen smiles politely, but inside, I only came here for the badminton courts. Badminton bloodbath. On the court, Shenning Han twirls her racket dramatically. Fairy's curveball serve. The shuttlecock sails through the air. Zichen casually catches it mid-flight like he's picking fruit off a tree. But before their game can continue, trouble arrives. A group of upperclassmen swagger in. Their leader, rocking a backward cap, snatches the shuttlecock. Court's reserved, kids. His goons snicker. But hey, the little girl can stay and spar with us. Shenning Han plants her feet, fiery as always. Rules are rules. We were here first. Zichen steps forward, eyes cold. Back away from her. First come, first served. The cap-wearing leader sneers. I make the rules now. He tosses the shuttlecock up for a serve, but Zichen moves. Correction, he says. My rules are the only ones that matter. He leaps sky high, racket glowing with divine fury. His smash creates a white blur across the court. Crack! The leader's racket explodes into splinters. His cap flies off like a rocket. The upperclassmen stare, pale as ghosts. One whispers, if that had missed by an inch, our boss's head would be gone. They fold instantly, bowing in unison. We understand the rules now. Sorry, we'll leave. And they flee like cockroaches under a kitchen light. After that, nobody ever dared to bully Zichen or Han Han again. School life of a prodigy. Life in middle school was basically the same, just with better facilities. Academics? Zichen was so far ahead he'd finished the entire curriculum ages ago. He spent class reading random books while teachers pretended not to notice. Nights? After workouts, he binged online tutorials at inhuman speed. Cooking, photography, driving, swimming, every sport imaginable. The man was building a resume fit for 10 lifetimes. The middle school overlord title, though, still locked. He tried everything, aced exams, collected trophies, represented the school in national competitions. But he deliberately avoided winning first place every single time to keep a low profile. Narrator: low profile my foot. Instead, he attracted fangirls. Mountains of love letters piled on his desk daily. He ignored them all, focusing only on tutoring Shening-han and preparing for the big event, the school sports festival. Festival of Domination. Zichin entered 3 events: shot put, high jump, and sprinting, 1 for each stat. Shot put casually lobbed the iron ball 201.1 meters, and that was him holding back. High jump, 4 meters, easy. Sprinting smoked the competition so hard they were still tying their shoelaces when he crossed the finish line. Gold, gold, gold. Sitting with Shening-han afterward, admiring his medal collection, the system chimed. Achievement complete, dominate 9 years of compulsory education. Title unlocked, middle school overlord. Attribute gained, survival of the fittest. Power surged through his veins. He grinned. Finally, a fang with secrets. Walking home with Han, he pondered his new attribute, survival of the fittest. Lets a predator devour the life essence of other creatures to evolve. But what's life essence? Then inspiration struck. He turned to Han. Can I borrow your beast fang necklace? She nodded. The moment he touched it, a notification appeared. You have devoured a trace of the abyssal giant butterfly's life essence. Guidebook unlocked. 1% progress. A spectral butterfly with ominous eyes on its wings unfurled around him. Zikin froze. Butterfly. Tooth? That night, he scoured the internet for abyssal giant butterfly. Nothing. Not a whisper. He remembered. Bai Shuer had given them 2 fangs. He dug through his bag, pulled out the second tooth, and repeated the process. Life essence devoured. Guidebook progress, 2%. Zichin stared at the fang, disappointed. Barely any juice left. He clenched his fist. If I want the butterfly's full power, I'll need to find the real thing. And so, the hunt begins. The very next day after school, Lin Zichin upgraded his daily training routine by pedaling Shening-han to and from school on his trusty bike. On the surface, it was a noble gesture. In reality, he figured a bike doubled as both cardio training and a quick getaway vehicle in case an aberrant beast decided they looked like a 2-for-1 lunch special. Just as they rolled out of the school gates, a man in a shiny tracksuit called out. Zichin! Lin braked, and the man jogged up, grinning like a used car salesman. I'm Coach Guo, martial arts team, he introduced himself, clapping Zichin's shoulder. Your performance at the sports meet? The best in school history. Truly incredible. You must join the team. Coach Guo's words came rapid-fire like a machine gun of enthusiasm. Before Lin could squeeze in a polite, "No thanks," the coach was already waving goodbye, shouting, "Room C in the gym tomorrow. I'll be waiting for you." Zichin blinked. Shening-han giggled. The poor boy had just been recruited by sheer force of volume. That evening, Zichin sat in his room, ready to test his shiny new survival of the fittest ability. He smacked his hands together, squashing a cockroach and a mosquito in one blow. Opening his palms dramatically, he waited for the surge of power. Nothing, not even a flicker. Turns out ordinary insects weren't exactly packed with exotic life essence. Who knew? So, new theory, only stronger beasts carried the juicy power he needed. Time to test it properly. The next day, he biked Shening-han into the city and pulled up at a massive supermarket. Inside, there were shelves stacked with beast meat. Only all of it was prepackaged. He frowned. How could he absorb anything through plastic wrap? Just as frustration set in, he heard a booming voice. Fresh beast meat, not prepackaged, safe to eat. His eyes lit up. Jackpot. Wait here, he told Shening-han mysteriously, then rushed over like a man about to propose to a steak. He slapped his hand on a slab of freshly cut meat, BZZT. A surge of purple energy rushed into him, his grin stretched ear to ear. Yes, it works! Behind him, Shening-han stared. Why are you smiling like that at raw meat? Zichin, playing it cool. Oh, it just feels extra fresh. Want to touch it? Absolutely not. She waved her hands like he was contagious. Mission complete, he bought some to take home. Not just any meat, though. Ghost shadow squid, the cheapest option, which still cost nearly 1,000 yen a jin. His wallet whimpered. Xining panicked at the price. "Your mom's gonna kill you. At least call her first." Patting her head, Zichin lied smoothly. "Relax. She told me to buy plenty. She's already planning a feast queue flashback." His mom happily nodding in approval, except, in reality, this was all in his imagination. At checkout, the cashier rang up 3 packages for a painful 29 yen and 94 cents. Lin forced a smile. Internally, he was crying. On the ride home, he couldn't resist. He discreetly pressed his hand on the package in the bike basket. Another surge of purple energy. The system confirmed. Ghost Shadow Squid Guidebook unlocked. Progress 0.1%. A creepy mental image of a giant multi-eyed squid floated in his head. He quickly did the math. 1 jin equals 0.1%, meaning 100 jin for 100%. That's 100,000 yen. His wallet fainted again. But the squid's power to dissolve into water and vanish was absolutely worth it. He just needed mountains of cash. Better yet, the meat wasn't spoiled after absorption, meaning he could eat it too. Double profit. His progress climbed to 3% as he tapped more squid essence on the ride. Unfortunately, his squid meditation ended when Xining Han shouted, "Brake!" He screeched to a halt, barely avoiding mowing down a couple in the bike lane. He apologized, scolding himself for daydreaming. But the lane was packed. Why? Ahead, they saw it. A tense standoff. A muscular, red-haired man held a woman at knife point. Xining Han gasped. "It's Teacher Zia!" Police surrounded the area. Through a megaphone, the captain tried to calm the suspect. Officer Abing raised his gun, itching to shoot, but the captain yanked him back. "Too risky." "The hostage is too close," Abing muttered about gas. The captain rejected it. While the cops hesitated, Zichin acted. He picked up a pebble, flicked it with ridiculous precision, ping, and struck Abing's gun. The misfire sent a stray bullet flying straight into the suspect's hand. Knife dropped, hostage freed. "Move in!" the captain roared. Police swarmed, disarming and cuffing the red-haired thug. Teacher Sia sobbed in relief as a female officer comforted her. Meanwhile, Zichin casually got back on his bike. "Let's go," he whispered. Xining Han stared at him wide-eyed. "Did you just—" "Shh!" He pedaled away, almost free. "Wait!" The captain's voice rang out. "You! Boy, were you the one who threw that rock?" Panic flashed across Zichin's face. He forced a nervous laugh. "Ha ha! Me? No way, sir." The captain frowned. "Strange. You'd think someone would admit to a good deed, especially when there's a reward for bravery reward. The magic word." Zichin's brakes screamed as he spun back around, skidding to a stop in front of the captain. He scratched his head sheepishly. "Actually, yes, that was me. And, the reward part is really important." The captain chuckled, clapping his shoulder. "Good. Come by the station to make a report. I'll make sure you're properly rewarded." After informing their families, Lin Zichin and Xining Han prepared to head to the police station, expecting a smooth, boring debrief. Easy reward money, maybe a pat on the back, then home in time for snacks. But fate, as usual, had other plans. As the police escorted the cuffed suspect away, his face suddenly began twisting grotesquely, like he was mid-transformation into a Halloween mask. The captain paled. "Heretic!" The man's bones cracked and his muscles ballooned. In seconds, the suspect mutated into a hulking, aberrant rat. The cuffs snapped like cheap toy bracelets. With a shriek, it lashed out, swiping its massive claws at the officers. "Open fire!" the captain barked into his radio. "Protect the civilians!" Gunfire erupted in a storm of noise, but the bullets pinged off the monster's hide like BB pellets. A frantic voice came through the radio. "Confirmed heretic!" Subject fused with Rat King genes, requesting immediate backup. Lin Zichin grabbed Xining Han and their teacher, muttering a quick apology as he dragged them into a retreat. Thankfully, the rat wasn't chasing them. Still, his heart pounded. He really didn't feel like becoming rat chow today. Then, the sky lit purple. A sleek figure streaked down from the heavens, landing with a boom that shook the street. A female cyborg in gleaming armor, her short, dark purple hair catching the light. She reeled back a metallic fist and smashed the rat square in the jaw, staggering the beast. Hovering into the air, her chest plate split open to reveal a glowing core. Fire! A blinding beam of purple energy tore out, engulfing the mutant. The rat's roar of agony was cut short as it was disintegrated into a smoking pile of charred flesh. Everyone stared, stunned. Teacher Sia and Shining Han both exhaled in relief. Zichin, however, was staring at something far more important, his bike. Thank the heavens, he sighed. Not even a scratch. Do you know how much repairs would have cost? But relief didn't last. A foul stench hit him. He looked into the bike basket and his stomach dropped. The ghost shadow squid. His precious, overpriced squid, spoiled. The meat had turned gray and limp, oozing stink. He realized the truth. Absorbing life essence did spoil the meat, but only after a short delay. Grimacing, he lifted a tentacle with tragic solemnity. Putting on his best Oscar-worthy performance, he dramatically tossed it to the ground. Damn you, heretic! Damn your rat cult! Even the cyborg's laser couldn't spare my dinner. Teacher Zia patted his shoulder kindly. What matters is that everyone's safe. Zichin nodded, mourning his wallet more than the squid. At the captain's request, they rode with the security team to the station. Unfortunately, they were crammed into the same van as the scorched heretic remains. The smell was indescribable. Even Zichin's squid smelled better. He sat stiffly, pinching his nose, when a thought struck him. Bai Shuer's beast fangs had still contained life essence long after death. His eyes flicked to the charred corpse. Could there be essence left in that too? And if so, could I snatch some Rat King genes for myself? Curiosity won. He discreetly reached a hand toward the remains. The instant he touched, scorched flesh, bezizt. A powerful surge of red energy shot into him. System prompt. Devoured trace of giant Rat King's life essence. Guidebook unlocked. Progress, 5%. His jaw nearly dropped. That was more than the squid gave him by orders of magnitude. Freshness mattered. The closer to alive, the stronger the harvest. Before he could gloat too long, Officer Abing noticed him leaning forward. Hey kid, sit still. Zichin jerked upright. Ah. Just stretching, sir. At the public security office, the captain handed him paperwork. I've applied for your bravery reward. But his sharp eyes narrowed. How did a middle schooler, in poor lighting from that distance, manage to hit the suspect's knife hand with a rock? Perfectly? Zichin scratched his cheek. I train my right hand a lot? The captain blinked. What does that even mean? Before he could press further, Shining Han's voice called out, Auntie's here! Zichin turned, stunned to see his parents rushing in. His mother, Jiang Wangshan, ran straight to him with tears in her eyes, wrapping him in a desperate hug. Zichin, my baby, are you hurt? You scared me half to death. He hugged her back awkwardly. I'm fine, Mom. Really, I even got a bravery reward. Promise me, she cut in, gripping his shoulders. Next time, you hide. I don't care about rewards. I only care about seeing you grow up safe for once. Zichin was speechless. Her words hit deep. He nodded. Okay, Mom. I promise. As they left, the captain silently watched, still unsettled by the boy's vague answers. Something about Zichin didn't add up. On the way out, Zichin overheard two female officers gossiping. Perverts are getting more brazen, one muttered. Not perverts. Heretic, the other corrected. He was a liberal arts student from Guangyuan University. Brainwashed by the rat god cult. The first officer cursed. Then we need to wipe out this cult at the root. The root, the other replied grimly, is their so-called Rat King. The name made Zikin freeze. His eyes lit up. On the ride home, Lin Zichen did what any self-respecting teenager would do after barely escaping a mutant rat attack. He pulled out his phone and started Googling. To his surprise, there was plenty of information on the rat god cult, almost like they had their own Reddit forum. Scrolling through, he learned their headquarters was in Shanghai, and most members were society's outcasts, the type of people who failed their exams, got rejected on dating apps, and then decided worshiping a giant rat was the logical next step. But the real shocker was the Rat King himself. Apparently, he wasn't just a big, ugly rodent. He wanted to evolve into a higher life form. He was forcing his followers to collect evolution materials like some nightmarish Pokemon trainer. Zikin's blood ran cold. Wait, does that mean the Rat King has sentience? Before he could spiral into existential dread, his attention shifted outside the car window. There, waddling down the sidewalk like it owned the place, was a rat nearly the size of a cat. He froze. Rat King's spy? A second later, he scoffed at himself. This was the South. Cat-sized rats were practically local wildlife. Shaking off the thought, he glanced at Shen Qinghan. She was awfully quiet, fidgeting with her knees pressed together like she was guarding a national secret. Zichen instantly understood. Ever since childhood, whenever she got nervous or scared, she, well, couldn't exactly control her bladder. Most people would find it embarrassing. Zichen, however, always felt this quirk was hiding some kind of mysterious potential, like maybe her power was sealed in her bladder. When they finally got home, Zichen's mother, Zhang Wang, immediately noticed the absence of nearly 3,000 yen worth of ghost shadow squid meat. Her jaw dropped. "Where's the meat?" Thinking fast, Zichen gave his best sheepish smile. I must have dropped it when I was running for my life." His mother gasped. "Forget the meat, child. What matters is that you're safe." Zichen breathed a sigh of relief. Fooled her.
Unfortunately, his father, Lin Yensen, was less sentimental. The man puffed up his chest like a worn-out office worker who still wanted to believe he was tough. "I'll go back and find it," he declared. "Spoiled or not, I don't waste money." Panic struck Zichen. "No, Dad. It's too dangerous. And besides," he hesitated, "it's already spoiled." Suspicion flickered in his father's eyes. "And how exactly do you know it's spoiled?" Sweat trickled down Zichen's neck. "Lucky guess?" Meanwhile, back at the police station, Captain Hun Shan was brooding in his office with a cigarette, replaying the night's events. One thought gnawed at him. How the hell did an ordinary middle schooler throw a rock with sniper-level precision in pitch darkness? That's when he heard it, the scratching sound. He turned. Perched on the filing cabinets was a rat. Not just any rat. A massive one, with beady eyes gleaming in the shadows. The captain reached for his pistol. The rat leapt. Gunshots. A blur of claws and blood. By morning, the captain was a headline. The next day, Lin Zichen slumped over his desk, sighing like an old man trapped in a teenager's body. The heretic, the cyborg girl, the mutant rat, he was painfully aware of how weak he still was. And more importantly, how broke. He needed beast meat. Lots of beast meat. And beast meat wasn't cheap. For a moment, he considered becoming an influencer. But no, too flashy. He wanted to keep a low profile. Selling study materials? Boring. Then it hit him. In this world, martial arts and gene fusion mattered way more than academics. So he marched straight to Building C, where the school martial arts team trained. Coach Guo was sipping tea from a thermos when Zichen approached. "Coach," Zichen asked casually, "if I join the team, will I get to compete in city tournaments? And is the prize money, say, in the tens of thousands?" Coach Guo's eyes lit up. Of course. That was all Zichen needed. He shook the coach's hand firmly. "I'm joining." The coach nearly spit out his tea in excitement. He gathered the team to introduce their new recruit. "This is Lin Zichen, our school sports meet champion." The teammates, Zhang Kai, Hang Tianing, or Ashing, Lu Tong, and Hanigua, nodded their greetings. Since Zichen had no formal training, Coach Guo demonstrated the basics, simple fists and kicks. They may look easy, but they're tough. Our fastest learner, Lai Shutong, needed a whole week to get them right. Zichen nodded politely, but inside, he was grinning. With his celestial root of wisdom, aka Heaven's cheat code. He already understood every detail. He stepped up, assumed a stance, and began. Fist. Perfect form. Kick. Flawless execution. Transition. Seamless. Ding! A system notification popped up, granting points in vitality, strength, dexterity, and proficiency. The room went dead silent. The coach's jaw dropped. His thermos nearly slipped from his hands. The team just stared. Coach Gua had one thought. This kid isn't human. He's a once-in-a-million martial arts prodigy. That evening, Zikin rushed home for dinner. His mother proudly unveiled a platter of ghost shadow squid, the very meat he craved. The aroma alone made his mouth water. He devoured it happily, but then came the ding. A system notification informed him he had absorbed a trace of the squid's life essence, pushing his guidebook progress to 3.01%. Zikin nearly spat out his food. Wait. I could have just eaten it this whole time? All that fuss with spoiling and blaming heretics? While he sulked inwardly, the TV blared breaking news. A 14-year-old genius girl, the youngest cyborg in history, was being profiled. She could lift a 5,000 kilograms SUV with one hand, sprint 100 m in 3 seconds, and leap 8 meters straight up. Zikin blinked. Cybernetics versus gene fusion. Which path is stronger? His musings were interrupted by another broadcast, this time grim. Captain Hun Shan had been killed in his office. Surveillance showed a giant mutant rat attacking him before disappearing into the night. Zikin froze, remembering the rat he'd seen yesterday. His stomach churned. The danger was growing. He needed to train harder. So he did. Days later, his stats were insane. He could sprint 100 meters in 4.61 seconds, jump 5.3 meters high, and lift 1,200 kilograms with one hand. Not bad for a normal middle schooler. But trouble, as always, found him. The next morning, Shin Qinghan followed him curiously to the gym. On the way, a pink-haired girl shyly offered Zikin a bottle of milk. He smiled politely and declined. Behind them, Jiang Kai, teammate, sore loser, and apparently jealous admirer of pink-haired girl, was fuming. Watching her get rejected crushed him. He stormed up and blocked their path. You hurt her feelings. Apologize. I'm allergic to milk. Zikin replied calmly. Liar! Kai snapped, his veins bulging. He pointed at Zikin dramatically. I challenge you to a spar. If I lose, I'll never bother you again. But if you lose, you drink the milk. At that exact moment, ding! A system notification appeared. New achievement mission. Defeat 1,000 opponents in formal competition. Unlock survival of the fittest trait. Zikin's lips curled into a sly grin. Surrounded by a faint purple aura, his eyes glinted with mischief. Challenge accepted, he said. Word of the duel spread through the school like wildfire. By the time Lin Zikin and Jiang Kai stepped into the gym, the place was packed. Students crowded around the sparring floor, buzzing with excitement. Two freshmen whispered to each other. Wait, Lin Zikin? The sports meet champ? Yeah, and he's fighting a senior. This is gonna be legendary. The crowd was very clearly on Zikin's side. Female fans screamed encouragement, telling him to teach that bully a lesson. The pink-haired girl from earlier stood at the front, phone in hand, ready to immortalize the moment for social media. Jiang Kai, meanwhile, was fuming. Everyone seemed convinced he was going to lose. Ha! Just because he's been shining for a month, they think he's invincible? This duel will be my redemption arc. Lin Zikin, in contrast, looked utterly unfazed. Can we make this quick? I need to get home for dinner. The word stabbed into Jiang Kai's pride like a hot knife. He smirked coldly. Fine. Quick it is. Coach Gua stepped between them, raising his hand. Remember, no killing blows. The match begins. Wait. Jiang Kai interrupted with a smug grin. To make this fair, I'll give you 3 free moves. After all, I've trained for nearly 2 years. You? Barely a month. The crowd murmured. How generous. How noble. How utterly condescending. Zikin just nodded. All right. And then boom. Before Jiang Kai could even blink, Lin Zikin blurred forward. His fist crashed into Jiang Kai's nose with the force of a freight train. Blood sprayed. The senior flew backward, collapsing to the mat in an unconscious heap. 1 punch. 1 second. The entire gym froze in stunned silence. Coach Gua dropped his thermos. The fight is over. In 1 punch. The crowd erupted in chaos. Girls screamed his name. Shin Qinghan threw her fist into the air, shouting like a die-hard fangirl. The pink-haired girl squealed while live-streaming, her phone trembling from excitement. Zikin glanced at his system. Ding! Mission update. By defeating a rival and earning the affection of the opposite sex, you've gained priority mating rights. His progress toward natural selection was now officially at 1/1000. He sighed inwardly. Still 999 to go. This is going to take forever. So he turned to the rest of the martial arts team. Smiling just a little too warmly, he asked, Shall we spar next? The team members went pale. I have to cram tonight. My mom's waiting with dinner. I think I'm coming down with the plague. Before they could escape, Jiang Kai stirred. Wobbling to his knees, he glared at Zikin. You sneak attacked me. I demand a rematch. Coach Gua barked. Enough. Accept defeat like a man. Then, rubbing his chin, he muttered. Unless, it really was a lucky punch. Let's test it. Xiaozi, step up. A spiky-haired boy froze like a deer in headlights. And me? See, can't we just, play cards instead? Despite trembling, he assumed a fighting stance. 10 minutes later, several martial arts members lay groaning on the gym floor, clutching bruises. Zikin stood over them, dusting his hands. He hadn't even gone all out, just a few. Light taps. He checked his system again. Nothing. No progress. Damn. Friendly spars don't count. Only official matches do. Just then, a heavy hand clapped his shoulder. Coach Gua's face gleamed with unholy delight. Lin Zikin! You're a prodigy. With you, our team will dominate regionals. First place is ours. Zikin's eyes lit up. The tournament, of course. Official battles, one after another. This is my fast track to 1,000 victories. But before his grand plans could spiral further, a voice croaked out. Jiang Kai, barely upright, pointed at him dramatically. Lin Zikin! I acknowledge you. From this day forward, you are my superior, my master, my... Okay, that's enough. Coach Gua cut in quickly. Xin Qinghan looked horrified. The pink-haired girl turned off her phone. Even Zikin shivered at the bizarre declaration. The crowd scattered fast, leaving Jiang Kai alone, still rambling about loyalty and honor to absolutely no one. In this world, high schoolers had to choose martial arts or academics. Given the growing danger of aberrant beasts, martial arts was the obvious path. Xin Qinghan, determined not to fall behind, threw herself into training with Zikin. Their daily routine was brutal, a 30,000-meter run, an hour of sparring, countless push-ups and sit-ups. At the end, Zikin would even give her massages to ease her sore muscles, though Xin Qinghan always turned bright red. And Zikin? He trained twice as hard, hell-bent on reaching the top before the rat god's cult grew any stronger. 1 month later, the big day arrived. The regional martial arts tournament. The gym buzzed with banners, teams warming up, and the smell of fried snacks from the stands. Lin Zikin stood tall at the entrance, eyes sharp, fists clenched. This was it. The battlefield that would decide his future. And the fastest way to rack up 999 more wins. The regional martial arts tournament was being held at the massive city gymnasium, a place so big it felt like a sports anime opening was about to start at any moment. The arena was packed to the rafters with students, parents, teachers, and at least one confused old man who had just wandered in for free snacks. In the waiting area, the air was thick with tension. Coach Gua paced back and forth like a man trying to find a bathroom during halftime. He checked the match roster, then dramatically slammed it down. Why did it have to be Shanghai #1 high in the first round? He wailed. Another team member chimed in, face pale. Coach, they have that guy who ran a 100-meter dash in under 9 seconds. The entire team collectively died a little inside. Before despair could swallow them whole, Lin Zikin raised his hand with the calm of a man who had already mentally scheduled dinner after winning. I'll go first, he said casually. Coach Gua blinked at him, torn between terror and hope. Fine. Don't die. As Lin Zikin walked out to the roaring arena, Xin Qinghan waved a little flag she'd probably made that morning, and Coach Gua screamed encouragement through a megaphone like a battle commander sending his hero into war. Lin Zikin's opponent lumbered forward, a muscle mountain of a teenager from Shanghai #1 high. He had biceps that could file for their own citizenship and an ego to match. Not bad first year, he said, looking down at Lin. But the stage isn't meant for shorties under 170. I'll show you the power gap. He flexed his arm. The flex echoed. Somewhere, a protein shake cried. The referee raised his hand. Ding! The big guy charged forward with the subtlety of a tank. His punch came like a meteor. Lin Zikin calmly tilted his body to the side. And then boop, a short, clean punch to the chest. The sound that followed was like someone had fired a cannon inside the gym. The muscular teen flew backward, face first, unconscious before he hit the mat. The announcer froze, mic trembling. VV victory for Lin Zikin? On the sidelines, Xin Qinghan jumped up and yelled. That's my Xiao Qin! The rest of Shanghai High's team swarmed Coach Gua, screaming like they just won the lottery. He's insane! All that muscle was just decoration! Bros built different. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ring, the opposing coach was absolutely losing it. What did I say about footwork? His fallen student, of course, couldn't respond. He was somewhere in dreamland, probably reliving his kindergarten years. Back in the ring, Lin Zikin got a crisp system notification. Tournament rival defeated. Elimination count, 2,100. He clenched his fist, feeling the satisfying weight of progress. The opposing coach, still clutching his clipboard like a drowning man clings to driftwood, pointed to his next fighter. Chen Fang. Crush him. Chen Fang, cool, calm, composed, stepped into the ring. He wasn't cocky like the last guy. He looked like someone who actually trained instead of just skipping leg day for 5 years. The announcer signaled the start. Chen Fang moved like lightning, striking with flawless technique. But Lin Zikin caught the kick with one hand. Chen Fang's expression went from, "I got this," to, "Oh no." Then, with all the grace of a helicopter crash, Chen Fang spun midair and landed flat on his back. KO. Medics sprinted in with a stretcher. Someone shouted something about getting a head scan. The crowd was stunned. What just happened? Is he hacking? This tournament is rigged. A few furious parents demanded refunds. Meanwhile, the opposing coach sat on the bench, face buried in his hands, muttering, "It's not luck. This kid, he's a monster." And somewhere in the crowd, Lin Zikin cracked his neck, calm and ready. This was just the warm-up. Back in the waiting area, Coach Guo was a changed man. His earlier nervousness had evolved into a kind of manic determination, the kind coaches get right before doing something either brilliant or deeply stupid. He slammed his clipboard down and pointed dramatically at the next fighter. "Jie Fei, you're up. Listen to me carefully. Defense only. Defense. You cannot afford to lose, you hear me?" Jie Fei, a spiky-haired boy with the confidence of a man who never been punched hard enough, nodded coolly. "Relax, coach. I got this." Coach Guo blinked. "No, you don't." But Jie was already walking toward the ring, oozing smugness. Inside, his thoughts were even more self-assured. "That Lin guy? Please. Just lucky. 2 flukes in a row. No way he's stronger than me." After all, Jie Fei was famous, the kind of schoolyard legend people whispered about. He could run 100 meters in under 9 seconds, and rumor had it, his father was a gene fusion user, which meant superhuman DNA. The crowd buzzed like a live beehive. "That's Jie Fei, the lightning sprinter. His dad's a gene fusion user, right? Poor Lin Zikin. His streak ends here." The consensus was clear. Lin Zikin had been impressive, but his reign was about to end. The announcer raised his hand. "Begin!" Jie Fei instantly ignored his coach's orders and launched forward with a battle cry that sounded way cooler in his head. His foot sliced through the air with a vicious kick, followed by a flurry of punches that blurred like a tornado. "Flowing water shattering rock fist!" he shouted, performing his signature technique. From the sidelines, Coach Guo's counterpart screamed. "What part of defense did you not understand?" Jie Fei ignored him, grinning confidently. "Defense is for people who can't attack like geniuses." Meanwhile, Lin Zikin, cool as a glacier, simply dodged each blow like he was swatting away mosquitoes. His expression stayed perfectly calm, almost bored. Lin mused mid-dodge. "This flowing water technique is kinda nice. I should learn it." Jie Fei, panting and red-faced, finally stopped swinging. How are you dodging all of that?" Lin tilted his head slightly. "Any other moves, or is that your whole trick?" The taunt hit harder than any punch. Jie Fei roared in rage and unleashed another furious barrage, fists flailing faster than logic. But Lin had seen enough. "All right then, let's end this." In the blink of an eye, Lin sidestepped the final punch and countered with a single devastating kick to Jie Fei's midsection. There was a boom, followed by a gasp from the entire arena. Jie Fei's eyes went wide. His soul seemed to momentarily leave his body as he flew backward and landed flat on the floor, limbs spread, dignity gone. KO. For a few seconds the crowd was dead silent, just the sound of a soda can rolling somewhere in the stands. Then came the explosion. "Let's go! Xiao Qin is a beast! 3 straight wins!" Xin Qihan leapt into the air like she was celebrating a World Cup victory, while Coach Guo nearly fainted from joy. "My boy! My prodigy! My golden child!" he screamed through his megaphone, eyes sparkling with fatherly pride and mild insanity. From that point on, the rest of the tournament might as well have been a montage. The next few opponents? Instant knockouts. The rest of Shanghai number 1 high? Wiped out by Lin Zikin alone. Over the next 2 days, Lin single-handedly defeated 2 more schools. By the end, Shanghai High stood on the winner's podium holding the championship trophy, medals gleaming, Coach Guo crying like a proud uncle at graduation. But Lin Zikin's mind was elsewhere. He checked his system. Rival count, 161,000. He sighed. "At this rate, I'll need years to unlock the natural selection attribute." Still, there was one bright side. Coach Guo, surprisingly generous in his victory high, handed him 20,000 yuan, his cut of the prize money. Combining that with winnings from his academic competitions, Lin's wallet hit a glorious 30,000 yuan. It was gone within a week. He spent all of it on one thing, ghost shadow squid meat, a rare and ridiculously expensive beast delicacy said to boost one's physique. For several weeks, he ate nothing else. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, squid. Fried squid. Steamed squid. Squid shakes, probably. By the time he'd devoured 30 gene of it, his codex progress for the ghost shadow squid hit 33%. His training intensified. His power grew. By his second year of middle school, he broke through to the next stage, advancing from ordinary Tier 3 to Tier 4. The results were ridiculous. He could now lift 1,890 kilograms with one hand, jump 5.65 meters straight up, sprint 100 meters in 4.49 seconds. In other words, he'd evolved from school martial arts prodigy to walking natural disaster. And Lin Zikin? He just stretched his arms, cracked his neck, and thought, good. Now we're getting somewhere. Time flew faster than Lin Zikin could finish a serving of ghost shadow squid. Before they knew it, he and Qin Han had graduated from Shanghai's middle school division, two bright stars standing at the edge of a new chapter. But when the high school entrance exam results came out, fate decided to throw a brick right through their plans. Qin Han sat in her room, eyes red and puffy, clutching her pillow like it owed her emotional support. Why, Zikin? She sniffled. After all that training, we still can't go to the same high school. Lin Zikin stood there awkwardly, the kind of guy who could defeat martial arts champions but had zero defense against crying girls. He scratched his head. Well, you did great in academics, really. It's just that, your martial arts score wasn't high enough for the elite class at Shanghai High. Her tears doubled. Then what happens now? Zikin sighed, sitting beside her. Actually, the principal of Shanghai High is coming to my house today. Probably to recruit me. Want to come? She looked up, eyes shimmering like sad puppy dog eyes in HD. What's the point? The principal's obviously coming for you. Zikin smiled faintly and took her hand. Then let's make it about us. Before she could protest, he pulled her to her feet and said, Don't worry. I've got a plan. My one condition for staying at Shanghai High, you're my desk mate. Sure enough, a few hours later, Principal Zhao of Shanghai High arrived at Lin Zikin's home, elegant, sharp, and radiating the kind of confidence only someone with tenure and power could possess. For several hours, the principal sat with Zikin, his mother, and Qin Han, discussing everything from education, martial arts training, to how much potential Lin Zikin had. She was practically glowing as she said, You are the kind of student every school dreams of, Lin Zikin. Shanghai High needs you. When the long discussion finally ended, Principal Zhao stood and made her final pitch. If you agree to stay, you may name any condition. I'll make it happen. Zikin's eyes gleamed. This was the moment. He stood, cleared his throat, and said with absolute seriousness, I have only one condition. Qin Han must be in my class. As my desk mate. The room went dead silent. Qin Han froze like a deer caught in headlights. Principal Zhao blinked, then turned to her. Qin Han, that's your name? The girl nodded shyly. The principal smiled. Then it's settled. You'll both attend Shanghai High. Together. Zikin and Qin Han both stared, mouths open, before bursting into smiles of pure joy. Thank you, Principal. They shouted in unison, bowing so fast it almost looked choreographed. And just like that, their future was secured. Before the summer ended, Lin Zikin had one more thing to take care of, his final junior high martial arts tournament. At this point, it was less a competition and more a one-man show. He tore through the brackets with ease, his punches ending matches before the announcer could even finish saying, Begin! Naturally, Shanghai Middle won another championship, and Lin pocketed the prize money like a professional. This time, though, he had a plan. With this money, I can finally finish the Ghost Shadow Squid Codex. He took his winnings, stocked up on squid meat like a doomsday prepper, and headed out to a secluded forest outside Shanghai. Alright, let's do this somewhere quiet. Just in case I explode or something. He began devouring the last of the squid meat, and soon a brilliant blue aura surrounded him. The ground trembled, his system pinged like a jackpot machine, and his body overflowed with power. Codex progress 100%. You have unlocked the Ghost Shadow Squid Codex. New attribute, Blessing of Liquid Affinity obtained. The description popped up. Enhances affinity with water. Grants movement freedom and stealth in aquatic environments. Zikin blinked. So, I'm basically a better swimmer now. He stared at the limp squid tentacles in his hands, unimpressed. Still, to be sure, he decided to test it. At a nearby pond, Lin Zikin slipped into the water like a man testing the world's least exciting superpower. He waited. Nothing. Then he realized. My skin's not wrinkling. He swam a few laps. Oh, less resistance. That's something, I guess. After a while, he sat waist deep in the pond, staring at his reflection, looking more like a depressed mermaid than a martial artist. All that effort, for a glorified bath perk. He sighed deeply, then smirked. Fine. It's a low-tier beast. Can't expect too much. Next time, I'll get a real one. His thoughts drifted to the giant mutant rats he'd once encountered. The image reignited a spark inside him. He clenched his fist, eyes burning with determination. No more small fish, or squid. From now on, I'm hunting the big ones. And with that, the young prodigy's next evolution truly began, dripping wet, slightly annoyed, and more determined than ever. As the start of the new school year approaches, Lin Zikin and Shening Han's families decide to take a short seaside vacation. Lin suggests they go to the beach, partly to relax, but mostly to test his new liquid affinity. Once they arrive, Shin-Chin-Han immediately starts shivering. It's freezing, she complains, hugging herself. Lin, however, feels perfectly comfortable, his body seemingly in sync with the sea. You'll get used to it. He laughs before diving gracefully into the waves. Underwater, his system instantly reacts, swimming +1, diving +1, rewarding him for each stroke. From the shore, Shin-Han nervously calls out, Zikin! Teach me how to swim! Realizing she's never learned, Lin wades back and begins teaching her. He expects it to take hours, but she surprises him. Within minutes, she's gliding effortlessly through the water. Hey, this is actually easy, she says, diving smoothly below the surface. Lin blinks in disbelief. There's no way, he thinks. Her learning speed is unnatural. Then he notices something even stranger, a faint blue aura swirling around her body underwater. When she surfaces, eyes bright with excitement, she exclaims, It feels amazing! My eyes don't sting at all, the water feels nice! That's when Lin's brain kicks into overdrive. Wait, could her childhood bedwetting problem actually be a sign of water affinity? He remembers stories from his parents' novels, characters born with rare cultivation bodies. The more he thinks about it, the more it fits. To test his theory, they dive again, exploring the underwater world. Minutes pass, then 10, yet Shin-Han shows no sign of running out of breath. Suddenly, her expression changes. A deep, echoing hum vibrates through the water. They both look up, and the sea itself begins to swirl with glowing blue light. Shin-Han gasps, clutching her ears. It's a voice! She cries, panic in her eyes. They rush to the surface, the glowing current fading around them. That night, as they walk along the moonlit shore, Lin gently asks what happened. Shivering, she explains, I heard a woman's voice whispering, over and over. I couldn't understand the words, it was right by my ear. Lin comforts her and later searches online for answers, but finds nothing. Restless and uneasy, he decides to train instead. As he performs his 1000th weighted sit-up, his system suddenly chimes. Collision, breakthrough achieved. Advance to ordinary tier 5, collision. A rush of energy floods his body. His speed, strength, and reaction time skyrocket. Testing his limits, he sprints across the empty beach, 100 meters in just 3.64 seconds. With a single leap, he soars nearly 7 meters into the air. Curious, he grips a nearby parked car, and effortlessly lifts the 1.6-ton vehicle with one hand. Breathing hard, he grins under the moonlight. Tier 5, finally. Now, even those monstrous mutant rats that once terrified him no longer seem invincible. As dawn breaks, his path feels clearer than ever. The vacation ends, and with newfound power and curiosity, Lin Zikin and Shin-Han return to Shanghai High to begin their next chapter. The first day of high school begins with Lin Zikin and Shin-Han arriving early for class duty. The classroom is quiet, until two girls walk in and immediately start whispering. Isn't that Lin Zikin? He's so handsome. Lucky us. We get to do class duty with him. Lin pretends not to hear, but internally he's confused. How do they already know me? Before he can think too much about it, his system dings. Lightbulb, new quest, social animal. Complete 1000 cooperative tasks to unlock new biological attribute, social animal. He stares at the glowing blue window in disbelief. Even cleaning class triggers a quest now? As he sweeps beside Shin-Han, he wonders what kind of attribute, social animal, could be. Increased teamwork ability? Social charm? Party buffs? Either way, it's something new, and that's enough to keep him interested. After school, he heads straight for his favorite place, the Mammoth Supermarket. The moment he enters the beast meat section, his eyes sparkle. Rows of exotic meats glow faintly with stored life energy. But one item catches his attention. Eagle Savage Giant Eagle Head, 1,998 yuan per gene. A grin spreads across his face. Perfect. The Savage Giant Eagle, a higher tier aberrant beast known for its monstrous speed and vision, 30 times sharper than a normal human's. The kind of power any fighter would kill for. That night, back in his room, Lin Zikin lays his hand over the packaged eagle meat. A blue light pulses through his palm as his system hums to life. Sparkles, devoured trace of Savage Giant Eagle's life essence. Guidebook progress plus 1%. He does the math quickly. 1 gene equals 1% progress. Meaning, he'd need 200 gene, or over 200,000 yuan, to fully unlock it. He sighs but grins anyway. Fine. Then I'll just win more tournaments. With renewed determination, he decides, before his second year, he will unlock the Savage Giant Eagle's Code DX. The next morning, school officially begins. The teachers introduce themselves one by one. The calm yet intimidating martial arts instructor. The eccentric mechanical modification teacher. The serious gene fusion lecturer. And the gruff wilderness survival veteran. Then it's the student's turn. A long-haired girl, Chu Yuyutan, introduces herself as an arts specialist. A bubbly pink-haired girl, Jianya, proudly says she loves anime, cosplay, and sports. Next, a quiet boy, Manhwa, admits he mostly plays video games. Then, it's Xinqinghan's turn. Blushing bright red, she stands and stammers. And my name is Xinqinghan. I like drawing, please take care of me. Finally, Lin Zikin stands up. He simply says, Lin Zikin. I look forward to working with everyone. Ben sits down again. Short. Cool. Mysterious. After class, a brown-haired girl named Chu Rui approaches Xinqinghan. Hey, what was your entrance exam score? Xinqinghan smiles nervously. 709. Chu Rui gasps. That's over 10 points higher than mine. Amazing. Then Chu Rui leans closer. What about your physical test score? I only got 95. Panic flashes across Xinqinghan's face. Mine wasn't that good. Chu Rui keeps guessing. 94? 93? While Xinqinghan shrinks into her seat. Her actual score was 79, barely enough to pass into the elite class. Before she can sink any lower, a sudden thud interrupts them. A hand slams onto the desk. It's Lin Zikin. He leans forward, casually smiling. Hey, mind if I add you on WeChat? Chu Rui freezes, then blushes furiously. Why yes. Of course. Xinqinghan watches in relief as Lin deflects the conversation, silently thanking him for saving her from more embarrassment. Then Lin turns to a boy named Yu. Let's add each other too. After connecting, he immediately creates a 4-person group chat. Ding! White heavy check mark, cooperative task +1, progress, 2/1000. He smirks. Easy progress. The 4 start chatting and quickly bond. Yu reveals he's from Manhua City and ranked 8th in their youth martial arts tournament. Chu Rui proudly mentions her family runs a clothing store chain. Lin and Xinqinghan share their Shanghai backgrounds, and soon the group feels like fast friends. Then Yu grins. So, who do you think's the strongest in our class? Chu Rui doesn't hesitate. Obviously Lin Zikin, he was top scorer in the whole district. Yu's jaw drops. Wait, seriously? Lin just chuckles modestly. Not necessarily. The principal recruited 2 powerhouse transfers from Manhua City. He points across the room. First, Wang Shuer, a blonde-haired prodigy who can run 100 meters in 7.98 seconds. And next to him, Lu Gang, a massive boy who can lift a 300 kilograms barbell with one hand. The class collectively gasps. Even Xinqinghan looks awed. Lin Zikin, however, just smirks inwardly. 7.98 seconds? 300 kilos? I surpassed that years ago. When the bell rings, everyone lines up for textbook distribution. This semester's subjects: martial arts, gene fusion, mechanical modification, wilderness survival. Lin glances at the pile of books and smiles faintly. He's already studied all of it. As the others chatter excitedly, he quietly slips away, looking for a secluded place to train. His high school journey has just begun. And with his new social animal quest, new friends, and a new beast goal, Lin Zikin is ready to rise higher than ever. Flexed biceps fire. As Lin Zikin trains alone, his thoughts drift toward darker matters. The rat god cult, still active, still dangerous. Sure, the cops caught a few small fries. But their leader, the infamous Rat King, is still out there somewhere, plotting. That thought lights a fire in Lin Zikin's chest. He clenches his fist, eyes sharp as steel. I need to reach Tier 6 fast. Only then can I face that monster head-on. Cut to outdoor forest scene, wilderness survival class. The first practical class finally arrives, wilderness survival. Their teacher, Shi Chungbei, stands dramatically in front of the students like some old kung fu master. He smiles and asks, So, who knows how to make a fire by drilling wood? The class goes quiet. Then Hugh mutters, That's useless, bro. Just use a lighter. Everyone chuckles, until, out of nowhere, Wang Shi and Lu Gang step forward like their contestants on Survivor, Shanghai edition. And shockingly, they actually manage to light a fire. The teacher's jaw drops. Impressive. How'd you two learn this? Lu Gang grins. Summer camp. Wang Shi smirks. Tutorials on YouTube. Classic. Then, not to be outdone, Lin Zikin quietly gathers his group, gives a 30-second explanation, and boom, everyone in his group starts fires like pros. The teacher stares. This kid's something else. Cut to martial arts class. Instructor Yao Yuanfeng introduces a new cultivation technique, explaining it with deadly seriousness. But before he even finishes, Wang Shi and Lu Gang jump in again like self-proclaimed experts. Oh, this one? We already know it. Their demonstration? Let's just say it's more interpretive dance than cultivation. Lin Zikin already mastered this technique ages ago, but he decides to stay quiet and play it cool. No need to flex, yet. Fast forward, montage music. A month passes uneventfully. Classes, training, and a whole lot of humble domination from our boy Lin. But peace never lasts long. Cut to mechanical modification class. Teacher Kai Yufei bursts into the classroom with energy. Pop quiz everyone! Let's see what you've learned. Groans echo across the room. Then he adds, to make things interesting, I'm offering cash prizes. 888 yuan for first. 666 for second. 333 for third. And instantly, the whole class is wide awake. Lin Zikin's eyes narrow. 888 yuan. That's almost half a gene of savage giant eagle meat. He's locked in. The class dives into the test. Pencils fly. Heads sweat. And right after that, because fate loves chaos, the gene fusion teacher announces another test. With the exact same prize money. Everyone groans in despair. 2 brutal exams in a row. When it's all over, the classroom looks like a post-apocalyptic battlefield. Students slump over their desks, moaning. I thought I'd get 90. I'll be lucky if I pass. One girl sighs. Meanwhile, Wang Shu and Lu Gang? They're chilling like kings. How'd you do? Asks a classmate. Wang Shu smirks. 95 easy. Only tripped on the last question. Lu Gang nods. Same here. 95. He grits his teeth, fists trembling. Oh, I hate these guys. Dramatic drumroll, results time. Teacher Kaiyufei starts reading scores. Guanling, 52. Xin Qihan, 61. She beams with pride. Lin Zikin congratulates her. Hiu, 88. The class cheers, he grins proudly. Guess I'll treat you guys with my 333 yuan prize. Then, the top dogs. Lu Gang, 95. Wang Shu, 95. The two smirk, acting like celebrities on a red carpet. But the teacher isn't done. One student got a perfect score. Lin Zikin, 100 points. The room erupts. Hiu's jaw drops. Bro's not human. Even Xin Qihan and Chu Rui are cheering like it's a championship match. Meanwhile, Lin just raises his hand calmly. So, when do I get my 888 yuan? The teacher blinks. You really care about the money that much? Yes. Cut to Gene Fusion class results. This time, the Nan Yuan duo stumble. Lu Gang, 81. Wang Shu, 83. Their egos deflate faster than a popped balloon. Xin Qihan scores an impressive 78, ranking in the top 5. But once again. First place, Lin Zikin, 100 points. Another perfect score. Another 888 yuan. The classroom explodes. Wang Shu and Lu Gang can't take it anymore. This is rigged. No one gets full marks twice. The teacher glares. I wrote every question myself. So unless you're calling me a liar. Dead silence. Hiu and Chu Rui burst out laughing. Disgrace to Nan Yuan. Uncultured and ugly. The class howls. Cut to Wilderness Survival Exam. New day, new battlefield. Teacher Shi Chungbei explains the challenge. Climbing. Swimming. Fire starting. Same prize money. The Nan Yuan duo glare at Lin. This time, we crush him. The whistle blows. Climbing test. Lin scales the wall like Spider-Man. Leaving everyone behind. First place. Again. Tree climbing? Same story. Wang Shu wheezes. I didn't even see his shadow. But while Lin dominates, he notices Xin Qihan struggling, finishing last. He smiles knowingly. Just wait till the swimming test. Next, fire starting. Lin moves like lightning, sparks flying. 58 seconds. Fire achieved. The teacher's jaw drops. Wang Shu and Lu Gang stare like they've just seen witchcraft. Finally, swimming. Xin Qihan dives in, and transforms into a torpedo. She blazes through the water, leaving everyone gaping. Wang Shu mutters. No way. Am I hallucinating? Lunch break, awkward silence. Wang Shu and Lu Gang don't speak. They just stare at their food. It tastes like failure. Afternoon, martial arts exam begins. Instructor Yao Yuanfeng announces. Time for sparring practice. 888 yuan on the line. The Nan Yuan duo's eyes light up. This is it. Our redemption arc. Before the fights, they run physical tests. Lin Zikin holds back, but still dominates. 100-meter dash, 7.78 seconds. One-hand lift, 330 kilograms. Vertical jump, 2.18 meters. He takes first in all three, just barely beating the duo on purpose. They're stunned. How is he faster than us? And stronger? He doesn't even look jacked. But they shake it off. Fine. Stats mean nothing in real combat. Sparring arena, crowd buzzing. Lin steps into the ring first. No one volunteers to fight him. So the teacher calls up a random student, Louis. The fight lasts 1 second. Bam! Louis out cold. Then another. And another. Lin sweeps the class like he's farming XP. Wang Shu and Lu Gang are pale. He didn't even go all out in the tests. Suddenly, Hugh stands up, pointing at Lu Gang. You! Let's go! Lu Gang grins. I'll end this in 30 seconds. 30 seconds later, Hugh's on the floor, coughing up his lunch. Lu Gang smirks. Good technique, but still weak. Then Lin steps forward. Now it's my turn. Lu Gang freezes. But pride won't let him back down. He charges. And Lin's figure vanishes. Before he can blink, wham! Lu Gang flies out of the ring, hits the wall, and doesn't get up. The crowd explodes again. Only Wang Shuo remains standing. Everyone starts chanting. Go avenge your bro. Don't chicken out. Wang Shuo snaps. Shut up. I was gonna fight anyway. He charges at Lin with everything he's got. And Lin just catches the punch midair. With a single counter-strike, Wang Shuo flips upside down, crashes into the floor, and starts foaming at the mouth. Game over. Lin Zikin doesn't even break a sweat. He checks his system. Survival of the fittest achievement, progress updated. But then he realizes, repeats don't count. That means, only the girls are left. He glances around, wondering if any of them will even dare. And to his surprise, every single one of them raises their hand, smiling. Oh, he says. This might get interesting. A swarm of blushing girls floods the ring, hearts practically floating out of their chests, all itching for a chance to face Lin Zikin. First up, Chu Yutong bravely waves her hand and jumps in, moving faster than you'd expect from a high schooler. She launches a flurry of attacks, but Lin? He's on another level. Dodging effortlessly, leaving after images behind, Chu can't even touch him. She lands gracefully, sighing. Wow, his speed is insane. Close but no cigar. Face with tears of joy. And just like that, one by one, the other girls step up. Lin Zikin holds back. He's not here to hurt anyone, just to rack up wins and finish his survival of the fittest achievement. Match after match, he easily defeats every girl, all while staying casual. Officially undefeated, but unofficially? He's just getting started. Before he can pout about the lack of tough opponents, the teacher drops a bomb. In 1 month, your class will spar against the strongest regular class in the second year. Be ready! Direct hit. Lin's eyes sparkle. Finally, real competition. Meanwhile, the previously arrogant Lu Gang slinks over, humbled, and admits. Okay. Lin Zikin, you're officially my rival for the next 3 years. Wang Shuyer isn't far behind, grumbling about avenging his humiliation. Lin? He's already counting the cash he's earned from exam prizes, over 3,000 yuan. Beast meat, here he comes. Money with wings. Night falls, and Lin's mind turns practical. He's still short on beast meat. Solution? What novel hustle. With his celestial root of wisdom, the first chapter practically writes itself. Morning brings a contract from Yuan, Cha-ching. Scroll. Then, horror hits. A news alert, a giant mutant rat, over 5 meters long, attacked a frozen meat facility. One heroic cyborg tried to stop it, got bitten in half. Explosions ensued, rat obliterated. Lin stares at the photo in disbelief. Shanghai has monsters, and he now realizes the city is crawling with potential nightmares. Face screaming in fear. Fast forward to the sparring day against the second-year elite class. Gym packed, excitement high. Teacher Yao Yuanfang calls a strategy huddle. Their class is stronger overall. Finish fights fast. And Lin? He rushes to the ring, eager to crush as many opponents as possible. First opponent, a tall blonde girl. She instantly complains, pointing at Lin. Why me first? I'm the weakest. Chaos ensues as Teacher Yao angrily confronts the opposing teacher. Lin is told to step down. He reluctantly complies. Cue Shanning Han, nervously volunteering as the weakest link. The blonde girl swings hard. Shanning Han blocks. Outmatched? Totally. But she survives, strategically, draining the blonde's stamina. 3 minutes in, the blonde is panting, shocked at Shanning Han's defense. A final punch ends the match, Shanning Han defeated, but victorious in spirit. Lin pats her head. You lasted over 3 minutes. Huge progress. Partying face. Next up, a brown-haired girl jumps in, sees an exhausted blonde, charges, and is instantly overpowered by the senior's superior skill. Chu Rui, fueled by determination, steps in next. She lands a single devastating punch, and the crowd goes wild. Shanning Han cheers. That's my girl. Lin casually explains. Chu Rui's victory? Easy. She just benefited from Han draining the stamina first. 2 hours in, the elite class evens the score. Teacher Yao smirks at second-year teacher brother Fun. 4 fighters left. Real showdown begins now. Q Haiyu, cracking his knuckles like a cinematic anime protagonist. Dramatic stance, fists thirsty for battle, and then proceeds to obliterate his opponent with a swift kick. Purple-haired senior? Too slow. Haiyu dodges, counters, and knocks him out. Crowd goes wild, Chu Rui and Shanning Han cheering louder than ever. Haiyu keeps streaking, defeating 5 in a row before fatigue finally hits, defeated by the 6th. Face with steam from nose. Next, Wang Shuyer, the Nanwan duo's hope. He goes all out, demolishing 10 opponents in a flurry. Exhaustion eventually catches him on the 11th. Then Lu Gang, cool and confident, dispatches 2 more opponents in record time. Only one left, Wang Jinhe, a mountain of a student, fat and towering. Lu Gang laughs. I got this. Punches, Nothing. Solid rubber belly vibes. Rapid attacks? Absorbed. Lu Gang is gasping, beaten by sheer size and resilience. Wang Jinhee casually lifts him, hurls him out of the ring. Elite class now down to one fighter, Lin Zikin. Teacher Yao exhales, unsure, but encourages Lin. Do your best. Experience matters. Lin just smiles. Don't worry, I've got this. Smirking face. The stage is set. The final battle of the day. Gym practically shaking. Stakes sky high. And Lin Zikin? Calm, collected, ready to sweep everyone and continue his achievement grind. Lin Zikin steps into the ring like a calm storm, and Wang Jinhee towers over him, or at least he thinks he does. The massive guy eyeballs Lin and scoffs. This weak-looking kid? My class's final ace? From the sidelines, Sheninghan, Chu Rui, and the girls aren't having it. They start chanting, heckling him with arrogant fatty, and teach the dead pig a lesson. Pig-face collision. Annoyed by the taunts, Wang Jinhee decides to be generous. Like, ridiculously generous. He offers Lin a handicap. I'll just stand here and let you hit me 10 times. Go ahead, don't complain later that I was bullying a smaller opponent. Lin Zikin's eyes light up. 10 free hits? Don't mind if I do. Without hesitation, Lin launches a single, devastating punch straight into Wang Jinhee's massive belly. The force? Astronomical. Wang Jinhee spins like a ragdoll, crashes onto the floor, and is instantly KO'd. Flushed face silence. Then, the elite class erupts into tears, cheers, and celebration. It's chaos. Even Wang Jinhee slowly opens his eyes, muttering in disbelief. This makes no sense, unscientific. Meanwhile, the second-year teacher sidles up to Yao Yuanfang, whispering, That kid is insane. One punch and Wang Jinhee goes down. Reminds me of Wyan. Yao laughs. Strong, yes, but Lin Zikin isn't Wyan level yet. That guy terrorized the principal as a first year. Lin, curious, steps over. Who's Wyan? Cue the legend recap. Yao excitedly explains, Wyan Qing, a first-year prodigy from a few years back, demolished the entire third-year elite class. Stats? 100-meter dash in 6.12 seconds, 3.96 m vertical jump, and a one-handed 650 kilograms barbell lift. Lin nods, smiles nervously, but internally thinks, Yeah, I had that strength back in 6th grade summer break. No biggie. Smirking face. That night? Victory celebration. Clinking beer mugs, teacher Yao raises a soda. Lin Zikin secured our win. Guess who's footing the bill for everyone? Yep, the second-year teacher. The class erupts into cheers. Lin's now surrounded by classmates like Haiyu and Chu Rui, all clamoring for his training secrets and WeChat info. Lin just blinks. Too much attention too fast. Meanwhile, Sheninghan quietly loads food onto his plate. Old habits die hard. Then, suddenly, she panics mid-celebration. Bathroom, need to go! And rushes off. Lin just smiles internally, thinking. Some things never change. Cut to the restroom gossip session. 2 girls spill tea. She fawns over him like a maid. Drinks shrimp, so lame. The other adds. How did she even get into the elite class? Clearly riding his coattails. Overhearing this, Sheninghan's heart sinks, but she doesn't sulk. Oh no. She storms up, hands on hips, and declares, I am not a sycophant. I am his childhood friend. Deal with it. Flex biceps. Later, walking home, Lin notices she's still upset. She confides softly. Mom said I'd grow out of it, but I still have to wear diapers to bed. I feel disabled. Lin kneels slightly, placing his hands on her shoulders. You're not disabled. This? It's a superpower. You just haven't unlocked it yet. Sheninghan's eyes widen. A superpower? Really? Lin nods. Your talent in water? That's your power manifesting. And me? Yeah, same deal. We're both special. She gasps. What kind of power do I have? Lin smirks. One very strong one. You'll see. But reality bites. Outside, chaos unfolds. A special team in hazmat-like gear coordinates near a building. An officer with a megaphone yells for the public to stay back. Rats are being exterminated. Inside, a man in an apron is wildly swinging a broom at a horde of huge rats, screaming at the officers. Stop! Don't kill my brothers! He charges them, full-on fury mode. Sheninghan whispers, horrified. Has he lost it? Lin shrugs, grim. Maybe, but some people are just like that. Pathetic yet tragic. They agree it's time to head home, because sometimes, reality is just too wild to watch. Later that night, Lin Zikin is chilling at home with his parents, only to have the evening vibes completely ruined by the news. The anchor reports that a young female teacher went missing last week, and she's still MIA. Cue mom, Zhang Wangxin, freaking out. That's the 4th one this month. Dad, ever the pedant, corrects her. 5th. Definitely 5th. The broadcast flashes photos of young, attractive women and warns everyone not to wander alone at night. Mom looks at Lin Zicken dead serious. You better not let Shanning Han go anywhere by herself. Lin just smirks and promises to keep her safe. Meanwhile, over at the Shanghai Public Security Office, the dude from the market, remember the one freaking out over rats, has been arrested. The cops are chatting with the doctor, wondering if he's mentally ill. The doctor shrugs. Not sure, he won't talk. Which is weird because earlier at the market he was screaming like he was auditioning for a horror movie. Suddenly, both the officer and the doctor do a double take. The man starts mutating. His body twists, grows, and warps, and boom! In front of their eyes, he becomes a giant, terrifying, aberrant rat. Cue the horror music. Rat face screaming in fear. The officer screams into his radio like it's the end of the world. Send the cyborgs! Now! They open fire, but bullets barely tickle the beast. To make matters worse, the female officer reports. All cyborgs are on other missions. Director grimly adds. Back up? 10 minutes away, and our ammo won't last that long. Plan B, lure it to the suburbs. The cops hop into a van, speeding through the city streets while the rat beast leaps between buildings like it's playing parkour. The van flips, crashes, chaos ensues, and the female officer hangs upside down, thinking, well, that went poorly. Just when it looks hopeless, enter the purple-haired cyborg. She hovers, locks on, and rains down purple missiles like it's an anime finale. The monster? Toast. Fire.
And this is how this part of this manhwa ends. Also in the future I will be bringing more and more exciting videos. Please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, hit the like button and stay tuned until the next video.